I just received an email from Laura. She says, Rabbi, every week you send out your 2-minute video. I feel this week we need something more. Now, typically, I would say fine. If you want to learn more Torah, that's the abbreviation for WhatsApp and Facebook, where people have the 1-minute span, the 2-minute span of attention. Come to my Torah class. I give a Torah class every Shabbos morning. Join it. We have a Torah class 9 a.m. We have Hot Chalent. Or come, we have my sermon. You could join it. Some weeks it's very good. Some weeks it's okay, But in general, you can be inspired here. But unfortunately, this week I couldn't tell it to her. Why? Because as we all know, most synagogues all over the world are closed. Our synagogue is closed. And there's no Torah class Shabbos morning. There's no sermon Shabbos during the day. Maybe that may be the silver lining for certain people in our community. So I said, fine, I'll make a video, share a message of the Torah portion. One of the challenges when you take a video, you can actually see how long you're talking for. When you get up Shabbos and Shul, we don't look to see how long we talk for. Once a rabbi was giving a sermon, he took off his watch and he put it down. So one guy, new guy in the synagogue, turns to his friend who's there every week. He says, what does this mean? He says, it doesn't mean anything. So now I can see the time, so hopefully I won't go over the time I want to give it, but I'm not telling you now the time I want to talk. Every Shabbos when I get up to speak, I always think about what message could I give that's going to be appropriate. And sometimes, there's nothing really going on that week. You try to tie it into something that I feel could be a strong message for people. But unfortunately, this Shabbos, we don't have this challenge. Because this Shabbos, people all over the world, from one side of the globe to the other, is going through the same thing. Everyone is thinking about what just happened and where are we heading. Some people are very concerned about the economy in general, and they're thinking about the economy for themselves personally. It could be your investments, your real estate, your job, people you have to pay, customers. It could be worrying about your parents. It could be worrying about your children. It's on everyone's mind. So they come to rabbis and they say, Rabbi, what's the answer? So the first thing I must tell you is, I don't have an answer. Why this is happening. And if someone tells you they have the answer why it's happening, ask them, did they have a one-on-one conversation with God? And if they said the Lord spoke to them, I'd rather not say the next thing I was going to say. So for us, what we do is we always look into the Torah. We feel the Torah portion we were going to read that week, is there a message for us literally right now, this moment that we're going through? So I'd like to share with you, I'm sure there's many, many messages, there's many, many different things that you're hearing, but let me just share with you one little message of this week's Torah portion. This week we're actually reading 3 Torah portions, so you're missing out a lot. Which is, we're not going to be in shul to hear all 3 Torah portions. Is Vayakel and Bekudei, the last 2 Torah portions of Exodus, and Parshas HaChodesh, which we read about the Shabbos before the month of Nisan. Vayakel Bekudei talks about the tabernacle, that when the Jewish people build a tabernacle in the desert, and this is where they traveled for 40 years in the desert and carrying the tabernacle with them. In the tabernacle, they had the menorah, they had the ark, they had the candelabra, they had the altar, and these were different holy vessels that we used in order to serve God. But very interesting, in the beginning of the Torah portion, before it goes into all the details of the building of the Mishkan, it has one commandment. The commandment is 6 days a week you should work, and the 7th day you should rest. So the rabbis ask a question, why does the Torah have to tell me 6 days a week you should work? Hello, I need God to tell me to work. You should work on your own. I have God to tell me to work. So the answer is yes. Because if you're a person of faith and belief, we believe not only God created the world, but God's still involved every day in the world. And we believe, right, that God gives us everything that we need. And God gives us the blessings in our business, and gives us the blessings of success, and gives us our financial blessings, and gives us everything. You know the story of this guy that his daughter came home, she was dating this boy for like 3 years, then she turns to her parents and said, finally I made my decision, I want to marry the guy, he's the love of my life. You know parents, what are we going to do? So the father says, fine, let me have a conversation, heart-to-heart talk with him. So he brings him to the porch, they're having a little l'chaim. Says, tell me, I know you're in college, but you're taking like one course, so a semester, it's taking you forever. How are you planning to finish college? I'm not sure. He says, how are you planning to support my daughter? He says, don't worry, God will provide. He said, if you don't finish college, are you going to look for a job? He says, I'm not sure. He says, then how are you planning to support my daughter? He says, don't worry, God will provide. He says, you planning to have children? He says, yes. He says, how are you planning to support your children? So I don't know. God will provide. Fine, they finish the conversation. Now the man goes back into the house, to the kitchen, and his wife says, no, tell me, what do you think of our future son-in-law? He says, I love him. He says, you love him? Every time you would make a face when he would walk in. He says, you don't understand. He's the first guy that's calling me God. I'm letting you guys laugh a little bit. So, what was my point? The point is, when the Torah tells us, yes, 6 days you should work. Why? Because really God should provide. God provides everything for us. So why should I work? If I work, what do I believe? What does it show? That I believe that the customer gives me the work? That my employer gives me the work? That the social media, that my internet, Amazon gives me, if I'm on Amazon, gives me my blessings? I'm a man of faith. God gives me the blessings. Let God provide. You know the story of the individual that went to, someone comes to someone's house and sees the wife is very sad and the husband's in a good mood. So he asks the wife, he asks the husband, why is your wife so sad? You're in a good mood. She says, very simple. My wife is relying on me to make a living. Then you have what to cry about. But I'm relying on God. I have nothing to worry about. So is he right? Should we all sit back and not work? Comes the Torah and tells us no. That God tells us, true, I'm the one that gives you the blessings. Ultimately, I'm the one that's going to bless you. The deal should go through. But you still need to make a vessel. You still need to work in the natural order and work hard and do your part. The rest will make a blessing. And we all know this in life. How often does it happen that we work very hard on something and it doesn't come through? And sometimes we don't work so hard on something and we're successful. Because we know there's a greater hand that's helping us. Or you know the story, this guy that had to go to a business meeting that was very, very important. And he pulls into the parking lot. He's running late, and he realizes the parking lot is full. And he knows if he comes late to this meeting, he's going to lose this big profit he's going to make. So he's trying to find the parking space. He can't find the parking space. And finally, the last moment, he turns to God and says, God, listen, if you help me find the parking spot, I'll give 10% to charity. Still can't find the parking spot. Does another circle. Says, God, if you could help me, I'll give you 20% charity. The moment he says that, a car pulls out. As the car pulls out, he turns to God and says, God, don't worry. I already found the spot. Another pause for a laugh. So, we do believe that God is along the way, but God also tells us, don't rely on me. Your job is you got to do your job. I'll take care of the rest. I'll give you the blessings. I'll help you, but we have to have faith in God, that God ultimately helps us. Then, the Torah portion tells us, but then we have Shabbos. What's Shabbos? Shabbos is one day you stop and you remind yourself again what it's really all about. Because all week we get so caught up in our hustle and bustle that we can forget. We can forget about our relationship with God. We can forget about our relationship with our spouse. We can forget and neglect our relationship with our children. We can forget really what it's all about. But then comes Shabbos, it's one day we shut everything off. We shut down our technology, we shut down our everything that we're worried about, and we go into a zone. It's us and God, us with our family. And then we can start thinking once again about what's really important in life. You know, one of the things I do is I also go to prisons and I visit inmates. And one of the things they tell me when they go to prisons is that it gives me a moment to stop and think about really what's important in life. This is the first time you can think about. So we have this once a week, the Shabbos, the Holy Shabbos, that we can stop and think about really what life is all about. What is the purpose? What is my mission? Why do I really go to work? And where do my blessings really come from? My dear friends, right now, we're all going through, everyone, a global Shabbos. A global Shabbos is that tell everyone, listen everyone, get into your houses, spend time with your family, just be alone. And be alone with your family and your loved ones. And stop being around the world. Businesses are shutting down. You can't be involved in your world. You can't even call people. People are not even interested in hearing from you, even when it comes to business right now. The only ones that are very successful, the ones that are manufacturing toilet paper and pasta. So the Torah portion reminds us again, but what does this moment teach us? This moment reminds, hello, 4 months ago, I thought I was this brilliant person that has this great marketing campaign, has a great PR, has a great personality. I'm a successful lawyer, I'm a successful doctor, a successful rabbi. 2 months ago, we were in the middle of this big campaign to build this beautiful community center that's going to impact so many people's lives. So it's me. I'm Mr. Successful. Comes a little virus there, boom, and shuts everything down. The billions and trillions of dollars of economy that everything went, shut everything down. And then we did a wake-up call. Whoa. There's more to life and more to my success than just me being the one that's getting it done. One little thing. It wasn't a nuclear bomb. It wasn't anything. It was a little virus that started somewhere in China, in some marketplace that we don't even know the place. And it affected everything. It took our whole world that we felt it was us. And we realized, it's not us. It reminds ourselves that, there's a higher power there. If you ask me why this happened, all that, I can't answer you why it happened. But when we're going through this and we need to think, it gives a moment of reflection. A moment also to appreciate what we have. That's also very important. We need to start appreciating what we have. So, this thought, the Torah portion tells us, God says 6 days you should work, you should realize you need to work, but ultimately remember the blessings also come from me. Shabbos comes a day to stop everything and really focus what's really important. What's really the blessings of the world. Right now, we're able to do that in a much easier way. Right now we can reflect, wow, the 2019, that was a great year for me. And 2018, that was a great year for me. Also, I have to remember that there was a higher power that also helped us. And the same thing right now, when we're going through the difficult times, we have to remind ourselves, hello, we don't have to panic. It will all be fine. The same God that helped us in 2018 and 2019, with our work too, God wants us to do the work, the same God that's with us right now through our challenging times. And it's the same God that's going to be with us in a few months when things clear up. Don't panic. We all have the concept of Shabbos right now in our life. Everybody's home. People don't know what to do. You know what you could do now? Now we can stop and think about how blessed we are. Now we can think about the blessings we have in our life. Now we can think about the blessing that we have in our life, a relationship with our family, with our children, relationship with God. Now is a chance that we could study some Torah. Now is a chance to really refocus really what my mission in my life is. Were the things that I was so consumed about in one moment could be taken away from me? Are those the things that I really should the rest of my life put all my energy in? So right now we're going through a Shabbos period. Let's use this gift of Shabbos to a gift of our life in order to change our life. I'll change our lives for the future. Change our life that when we come out of this, they say, what did I learn from this? And how can I make my life more meaningful from this? So to summarize, the parasha tells us 6 days you should work because it reminds us who gives us the blessing. The parasha also tells us you should have a Shabbos in your life in order to give us a perspective what life needs to be and how life should be. So my dear friends, if we could take advantage and bring these things into our life now, so then we know when we come out of this, let it be very, very soon, and everyone should get well. Not only we could say we went through this period, you have a t-shirt, I've been through this moment, but this moment will be a life-changing experience that from this point forward, our life will be more meaningful, more holy, more godly, more devoted, more caring for everyone. Good Shabbos and a blessings to each one of you.